Good morning. So lately what's been rolling through my mind is this idea of structure. And when we come to practice yoga, lots of times we will use a yoga block until such time as we don't need a yoga block, right? We'll use a strap until such time as we don't need a strap. We've been teaching without props lately, which is interesting because structure externally is also something that's been sort of stripped away from us. We don't have external time and commitments that is planning our day for us. So we have to rely on our internal structure. In yoga, we've used props and supports to give us external support while we build our internal ability. And so I just commend you on being here this morning and coming to class because you are continuing to build the internal structure that is going to be so necessary as we sort of move forward into this new culture, new economy that is going to be created with less external structure around it. So with that in mind, let's go to the mat and have like a 45-minute practice today. Are you ready? Sit yourself down or lie down. You know your favorite. So that we can spend a minute or two just grounding in and finding our breath. Comfortable spot. Settling in. Taking your awareness to your breath. Notice the length and smoothness of your inhale. The slow, continuous release of your exhale. Yeah, it's like you're tuning in to your own personal rhythm. The rhythm that is connected to the rhythm of the earth, the rhythm of nature. And so that you find like the metronome of your practice today. You find the cadence that's within you. And then as we move into our practice today, you follow that cadence. Feel like you've got it? Good. So if you're reclined, just bring your knees to your chest, roll yourself around. We're both gonna, all of us, meet in hands and knees position. Just beginning that cadence with your cat and cow pose, following the movement that is innate within you, following the cues, the prompts, moving through the parts of your spine that give you pause for just a second, like there's a little bit of stiffness, a little bit of achiness there. Just tune into that. You're letting the sensations of your body guide how deeply you go into the pose, letting the limitations of your breath when it gets sticky and tight show you the edges of your movement. Nice. And as you release from this pose, take your left foot and just reach it out beside you. Your right knee can open up as if it's in child's pose, and then just sink back and pull up again. Same thing, just noticing what's happening in through that extended leg, in through the adductor muscle in the groin. What's going on in the hip socket. You might also be noticing what's happening in the grounded leg, the knee underneath you. And next time you come up to standing, slide that left knee, opening it out to the side, and then reach the right foot out. Begin to just set the hips back towards the heel. Notice the difference between this right leg and the left. Which one feels like it has more stiffness, tension in it? Which one perhaps feels like it's got less stability, more range, more movement, but not quite as controlled? Nice. Sweet. And then let yourself come back up, both knees dropping down underneath the hips, and the back toes curl under as we gently press ourselves into a downward dog. So do deep knee bends and then start to straighten the legs. I want you to keep the heels lifted, because what you're thinking of right now is, can I take the tailbone higher to the sky? You're more concerned with lifting the tailbone high than you are with straightening the legs. Yeah, now let that tailbone hover high, and now just paddle heels, just changing from extending tailbone to sky to reaching the muscles down the backs of your legs, releasing them long. Sweet. Settle those heels. Gaze to your thumbs. Your knees can bend deeply. Take your right foot, stepping it forward between your hands. Remember, you can make that 10, 15 steps if you need to. Now drop your back knee, uncurl the toes, and just allow your hips to sway forward and back here. Nice. Yeah, if anyone's been out planting a garden or anything this week, digging in your flower beds, all of this hip movement will feel good. Maybe you went on a hike finally. Good. Hips settle down towards heels, and then just lift this top leg. Yeah, so you're going a little bit backwards now. Instead of taking hips forward, you're taking hips back, letting that front toe rise. This might be a spot where you know you're limited to go back by where the fingers touch the floor. If we had blocks, we could perhaps go further. That's okay. Coming back up. Sweet. Lift, curl your back toes under, lift the back knee, and then press through that back heel. Ground the front foot. Just hang out in this lunge as you let your legs get stronger and stronger. Inhale the fingers. They can come to the thigh or all the way to the ceiling. Nice. Push through that back heel. Reach through the front knee. Good work. The fingers can come right back down. Left foot steps forward. Right foot steps back. Drop the back knee. Nice. And then just let yourself go back and forth in the hips again. Reaching the hips towards that front heel. Sinking everything back. And now we'll shift the movement of this so that we are tending towards the back heel. Sinking your bum towards that back heel. Lifting up to square. Just noticing the difference between what's going on in each side of your body. Good. Coming all the way back up, letting the back toes curl under, reaching into that lunge, really allowing yourself to firm things up through the legs. And then with your next inhale, float the fingers to the thigh. You can leave them there or let them come to the sky. Push through the back heel, reach through the front knee. Breathe. Good work. And then the hands come right back down to the front foot. Bend that back knee, spring forward on the foot. Inhale to tabletop. Stretch through the crown. Find length all the way down the front line of the body. Let the shoulders reach down the back. Chin is soft. Nice work. Exhale, fold deeper here.
Just let the head hang off the end of the spine. Your hands can fall toward the floor. Back legs are just as straight as they want to be here. Nice. Lift to tabletop. Exhale and release. Lift to the sky. Hands reach all the way up. Sweet. Drop them right back down to the heart. Inhale, hands come all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale. As you step back with your right foot, hands can fall to the heart. And then just play, front knee bent. Bring your arms out wide. Good. Straighten that front leg. And then as your knees bend, the shoulder blades can slide away from each other. And then as your leg straightens, those shoulder blades can slide. Yeah. Just move smoothly here. Feel the smooth movement in your front knee. Feel those shoulder blades slide on your back ribs. Really, we're just adding a layer of good lubrication to all the different muscles, all the different joints of the body. Nice. Hands come to heart. Straighten the front leg and then just tip. This is one where you imagine your back body has a board on it. So the whole pelvis is leaning forward until the front leg says stop. And then you come back up again. Yeah. Go smooth. Make that as smooth as it can be in your body. Yeah. Kapha season calls for a little bit more momentum. So rather than the poses and the movements being static, still, strong and stable as we need them to be in winter, yeah, springtime kind of calls for a little bit of a different tactic. Step forward with the right foot, back with the left. We're going to bend into that front knee. Take the hands out into cactus pose. This time fingers go to the sky as the front knee straightens and elbows fall back down. So the movement of the arms is a reflection of what's happening in your shoulder blades. Let those shoulder blades slide out and away from the spine. Tips of the shoulder blades coming back down into the spine. Keeping smooth movement in that front knee. There's a little bit more vigor needed in our kapha season than we need. So the flow of the movement. Wintertime, we just need stability. We need stability and grounding and steadiness and strength. So allow yourself that extra little bit of movement. Yeah. Now bring your hands down, place them on your heart center, straighten that front leg. Imagine a board on your back body. Tip forward over that front leg and come back up again. Now this movement is a reflection of what your hips are able to do. So as soon as the hips don't move and the hips stop, and then don't continue with your back. Don't do any back flexion. Just keep all the flexion happening at your hips. We're trying to get good range of motion in those hips for all the new spring activities. Biking, golfing, hiking, gardening. Yeah, kayaking. Good. And then come back up. Knees can bend. Giant step forward with that left foot, bringing it to the right. Inhale your hands to sky. Deep forward fold. As you place your hands onto your shins, extend into tabletop. Just adjust your shoulders. Let the chin relax. Feel the contraction of your back body. Nice. Deep bend into the knees and plant your hands. And then find plank. You know the rules of plank. You can take whatever version you want, whatever version suits your body. Pressing through the crown of your head. Perhaps you're pushing through the heels. There's a lift of the legs, an engagement of the core, real natural. So you're not artificially engaging the core. You're noticing that it happened, that it turned on for you. Good. Let's do side plank. So drop to the right knee if you like, or just roll on to the right foot. Taking that left hand to the hip or to the sky. Beautiful stretch there, pulling the hips away from that grounded bottom wrist. Nice. You can do whatever you want with your top leg. Breathe. Breathe. Beautiful. Now release that. Come to the left side. You can drop down into your left knee, or you can roll to the left side of the foot, letting the top hand be on the hip or lifted to the sky. Pull the hips away from that grounded bottom wrist. Sweet. Choose if you'd like to do anything with that top leg. Release and bring your hands back down. Sweet. Let's do a little bit of back bending. Elbows bend. Release the whole body down onto the mat. Uncurl your toes. There's a shoulder adjustment here that really highlights where we want the movement to come from next. Palms are soft on the floor. They're not going to press. Using your inhale to lift with chest and back muscles, and to release down with control. If you keep your nose pointed to the floor, you'll resist using the neck to help you haul yourself up off the floor. We're really trying to just strengthen the contraction of those back muscles. That alleviates pain when we're seated for too long. Yeah. Especially when we don't let ourselves use sort of the arm muscles, the shoulder girdle, we really do get to highlight the use of core, back, and chest. Nice. Next time you come down, let your back toes curl under. You'll press to a downward dog. Feel free to pass through hands and knees if that feels good for you. And then once you get up here, paddle. Paddle one heel at a time, taking the hips out to the side, swaying deeply into this downward dog, just feeling the lateral lines of your body extend. Every part of the practice is just an exploration of movement, finding how your body moves to its innate rhythm, its innate flow of breath and prana. Every time we come to the mat, our single goal is to become our own best support. Like we are here to just ask the wisdom inside of us, what do you need today? What can I do to serve you better? Beautiful. Let your gaze shift forward to your thumbs. Your knees can bend. Feet walk to hands. Inhale, lift to tabletop. Exhale, let yourself fold. Big breath in, hands come all the way up to the sky, and let them drop to heart. We'll step wide onto the mat. Toes can point forward, moving through just a bit of a side sequence. Let's point right toes out to the side, dropping into that front knee, sinking into the back pinky toe. Nice. As you stretch through that front knee, let's reach through the back hand. So just feel how that back hand wants to stretch behind you, how the front knee wants to move in the opposite direction. Breathe there. Good. Nice. Top hand lifts up and over. Let the hips sink down just a little bit more. Nice. Warrior two. And then reach through these front fingers. Extended side angle. Nice. We're going to flow that. Inhale. Good. So whichever way your breath is moving, coming back to center, reaching exalted, back to warrior two, extended side angle. Yeah, find your rhythm. Move with the flow of your inhale and exhale. Put as much sweet movement into it as you can. Yeah. Last time we come up to warrior two, Good. Straighten the front leg. Let the toes come forward in front of you. Hands can rest for just a moment. Left toes move out to the side. We sink into that left knee. Find the stance that works for you. Warrior two. Reach through the back fingers, right? Start like that. Start with those back fingers stretching to the back end of the mat and feeling like that front knee wants to stretch forward even more. There you go. That'll keep you nice and upright. Let the front hand extend. Warrior two. Beauty. Drop back hand to the thigh. Lift to the exalted. Breathe. Good work. Warrior two. And then stretch forward. Slide into the extended side angle. Reach through the top fingers away from that bottom heel. Breathe. Nice work. Warrior two. Good. Exalted. Warrior two. Extended side angle. There's your flow. Back and forth through warrior two to these two beautiful lateral poses. Just getting into all the muscles along the sidelines of our body. This is the part of our body that we don't use as much, and we need to recruit these muscles as a support for the activities that we're bringing into our life as we're allowed to be outdoors a little bit more. We need these muscles all year long, but they're underused. They're under-remembered in most exercise regimes. So we come to yoga because yoga remembers the side body. Nice. Last time to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Toes point forward. So good. Hands to hips. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Let the shoulders relax down the back. Just shake your chin. Let the back of the neck release. Your fold forward is from the base of the hips. The tailbone feels like it reaches and tips. Breathe. Hands can stay right here on your hips. If the floor feels like it's close enough, they can drop. You can widen your stance, just heel-toeing the feet wider if that feels available. Head falls off the end of the spine if that doesn't trigger anything in low back. If low back requires it of you, please just keep the chest lifted, open, broad, because that alleviates any tension of low back having to carry that load. Breathe. Good. Okay. I'd like to go side to side a little bit so your heels will come in. If you don't want to go all the way down to the floor, your hands can be on your thighs as you sort of move back and forth. Okay. If that feels good and the fingers can be on the floor, then you can maybe sink a little bit deeper into each side. Now, if you're up here, you'll just stay up here and go all the way over to one side. If the hands are on the floor, walk them over to the right toe. Lift the left toes up, keep that heel grounded. And I want you to just sort of roll the toe toward the floor and lift it back up to the sky. You're on the ball of this standing foot. Keep those toes pointing to the sky now. Just notice if you can lift up, hands off floor or not. Allow yourself to just mess around there. You can see how we warmed up to this one. Breathe. Fingers come right back down to the floor. Plant the back foot. Let's bring the fingers over to that side. As you come up onto the ball of that foot, let's play around with the back heel, with that right heel. Can you feel the difference of how your how the twisting of the thigh feels in each side of the body? Yeah. Now if it feels right, fingers can lift. Breathe. Breathe. Nice work. Okay. Hands can come back down, feet land on the floor, they come back to center. Lengthen the front body. Ground into the feet, and then take all weight off your hands, bringing them to hips. Lift all the way up. Good work.
buoyance in the knees. We're going to fold down one more time and let yourself do some twists. So fingertips on the floor, tenting or flat palms. Right hand lifts to shoulder height. Imagine that teacup on your back body, on the sacrum. You're twisting the upper back only, opening and closing that chest. Twisting the thoracic spine while you keep the lumbar spine, especially sacrum, stable. And then come down with the right hand, tenting or flat, hand to shoulder height. Same thing on this side. Feel the difference. One side might feel tighter than the other. Keep your back flat. Yeah. Good. Okay, we're going to combine those. Bring hands down. Now this time is the right lifts. I want your right hand lifts. I want your left knee to release so that hand can go higher to the sky. It comes more into the hips now. It combines the spine with the hips, but you're not so isolated to thoracic. Alternate from side to side. Beautiful. You can feel that flow coming into all the different parts of your body. Beautiful. Yeah. Really, that's our intention with our yoga practice. It's just like we're bit by bit, part of our body by part of our body, moving through it to notice what it needs today, how we can bring breath into that particular spot, how can we release tightness, grippiness, stress, tension, pain. Beautiful. Hands come down. Feet are planted. Find the support in the legs for hands to come to hips and lift you all the way up. Good work. Heel step those feet back together. Breathe. Breathe. One thing we notice a lot in this season is that the low back can get achy. So I want you to imagine a yoga block. If you have one, use it right between your thighs. I'm going to bring my feet just closer together because I don't have a block, and then sink down into that chair pose, squeezing my inner thighs together as if they are holding a block. So my brain trying to activate that inner thigh muscle so that I can release so much work from happening in this back body. Squeezing those thighs together. Letting the tailbone sink to the floor, reaching the thighs to the sky, or the crown to the sky, letting the fingers rise. Breathe, squeeze those thighs, squeeze them towards each other. Relax and release, let the low back and the tailbone be heavy. Breathe. When you do that, the quads might act up a bit. They're going to feel a bit more juicy. That's fine. Breathe. Good. How many of you are imagining your IKEA shelf back there? Someone sledgehammering it off the low back. Just releasing even more heaviness and weight from it. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Fold forward. Let yourself do a tabletop. Nice flat back. Good. Bend into your knees. Inhale, hands to sky. Drop hands to heart. Okay. Moving into our balance pose today, we're going to do eagle. So same setup as that chair pose. We slide our hips down, imagining the back going down a wall. Knees are bent. Take weight off the right heel. Let that knee lift up in front of us. Hands to hips so that you don't let the bowl of the pelvis tip. Right passes over left thigh. As they squeeze together, don't do this. And then pull your spine back up to a straight line. See if the pelvis can stay. See if the legs can do this work instead of the low back. Cross the thighs. Let the toes either touch the floor, hover, or tuck behind the calf, and your arms can open. Right goes underneath left with these arms. Remember all the options. You can grab shoulders. You can grab for palms. Elbows lift up and away from the chest. Breathe. Breathe. Beautiful. Just keep a steady breath. Keep a steady gaze. Notice if the hips want to sink lower. Notice if the elbows can lift higher. Good. Untangle the arms. Reach them wide. Lift the standing leg. Lift the top knee. And set it down. Hands can release. Good. So when you get here, sometimes you got to wiggle that out. Just give your body time to let balance settle back into each foot. There's no rush here. All of this is just you exploring, being present with what's going on in your body. Noticing if today feels better than yesterday, feels worse than yesterday. Putting in all the data that you have about what you did, what other activities you did. Sometimes or didn't do, as the case may be. Especially over these next few days when it's supposed to rain. Okay, right foot stays grounded. Ready? Left heel lifts. Oh, bend. Bend, drop in. Good. Left thigh crosses right. Don't let the hips tip, okay? Keep the pelvis balanced. When we go to squeeze those thighs together, you might need to drop lower. Toes can touch the floor, lift, or crawl in back behind. Okay? Arms rise. Left goes under right. Hang to shoulders or grab for palms. Elbows lift. Hips perhaps sink lower. Arms pull away from the chest. Find your steady gaze and your steady breath here. Imagine you're just going to settle in a little bit. So good. So good. Nice work. Opening up those hands, standing tall, lifting that top leg, putting it down. Good work. Nice. Okay, before we go, let's just step the feet a little bit wider apart. Let toes open, and then sink down into goddess pose. Pull your whole back body against an imaginary wall behind you, as if you're flattening yourself into it. Breathe. Breathe. Good. Yay. Hands come all the way up to the sky. Deep forward bend. I opened my heels, folding forward. You can heel toe your feet a little bit wider apart. Make that forward fold a wide-legged one. Perhaps the hands walk back in line with the tippy toes. Head just heavy. It's like a really heavy weight on the end of your spine, tractioning your spine out of your hips. Breathe. Beautiful. Let yourself have a couple more breaths here. We're in no rush. Slowly inhale the spine back to tabletop position. Bring your feet back to where they're ready to support you coming up to standing. And then heel toe your feet back together. I'm going to stand right at the front edge of my mat. Toes pull under. Inhale, fingers all the way to the sky. Exhale for a deep forward fold. Tabletop. Knees bend, hands plant. Back to hands and knees. You can go here to child's pose. Keeping that in the body. Or you can go to downward dog. Whatever feels best. Allowing yourself to just have about 5 more breaths in whichever position you've chosen. Knees come down to the floor, toes open to the side. Let's bring the feet out in front of you. Yeah, feet lined in front of you, spine is tall. The shoulders lift to the ceiling and they roll back. Slide your hands in behind your thighs. Lean back.
Yeah, come off the sit bones onto the padding of the bum. Let the toes rise. Just assess for a moment how much your arms are doing to hold your leg in space and fortify those legs. Good. Perhaps arms open up. Breathe. Breathe. Yeah. So good. Keep the chest lifted, the back long. Nice work. And release. Crisscross your legs, bringing one foot in and then the other. Sit tall. The fingertips can just land, and then walk the hands away from you. Allow the crown of your head to release down, tucking the chin. Sweeping the fingers closer and closer to the edge of your mat. Just feeling the spine round. Sit bones stay relaxed. Body releases towards the floor. Bring the right hand or the right forearm down, and then just tip that left shoulder up to the sky. And then change. Left forearm or left palm, elbow trying, and right hand comes to knee, left elbow opens, right elbow opens to the sky, twist the opposite direction. Nice. As you come back to center, allow the spine to get long, and then just change the cross of your legs. We'll notice the differences in our hips here. One leg cross is usually way different, a way different experience than the other. Crawl the fingers forward. Release the chin into the chest. Let the back of the neck get long. Feel you soften from the back of the skull all the way down to the top of the thoracic spine, and then down towards the lumbar spine. Releasing and relaxing each vertebrae. Getting ready to do a twist on this side. Right hand grounds left hand to knee. Open that top shoulder. Yes, other way. Left hand grounds, perhaps left forearm grounds. Right hand to knee. Open left shoulder, right shoulder. Nice work. And then let yourself untangle from that. Both heels stretch right out in front of you. Just take a moment to pull the flesh away from your sit bones. Let that back of the legs plant. Sit tall. This is Dandasana. If you can, the heels of your palms press down into the mat. Kind of depends on the length of your arms. Toes pull back towards you. Good. Inhale, the fingers go all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold to those toes. Let the hands fall wherever they want to on the continuum of your leg. Just use your breath. Just inhale, lift the chest, reach through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, pull the center of your chest towards your big toes. And then softening the chin, relaxing it back down again. You know that if you want to go a little bit further with your back here, all you need to do is lift the knees, and it will allow you to sink a little bit lower. So you choose sort of where you want to play here, with a bent knee to allow the spine a little bit more freedom and opening. Or if you want to play with the backs of your legs, which is what you do when you keep your legs straight. Yeah. Good. Inhale, those hands come all the way up to the sky. Let's exhale them. Plant them down beside you, and then let hips lift. Exhale, put hips down. Breathe in. Exhale to toes. Breathe in, hands to sky. Exhale, hands to the floor. Breathe in, hips lift. Breathe out, put them down. Yeah, flow with that. Up and forward and up and hands down and up, down. Yeah, last one. All the way up, all the way forward. To the sky. Hands plant. Hips rise. hold them there. Yeah. Pushing them up to the ceiling. Good. Releasing them down. Bend your knees. You're going to pull your body into a long straight line, just letting that work out in your, wherever you are in your mat. Choosing if you want to, but keep your knees bent. Actually, we are going to bend our knees. We're going to do a little bit more of those hips. So spine flat. Just imagine that the spine has lost the mobility of each vertebrae, keeping it long like a 2x4, like you've slid a steel pipe all the way down your spine. Put your fingers right on the hip flexor muscle. Heels come in towards the sit bones. Now lift and release. All of this work happening underneath your fingertips. That hip flexor muscle lengthening and stretching as you lift your hips, and then folding, creasing deeply as you drop it back down again. Yeah. This is the muscle that gets so tight in so many of our bodies. So we just want to remind it that it has the capacity to both be elastic, be strong. It has the capacity to lengthen and the capacity to bend. You're just reminding it of that ability. Giving it a little bit of love. Sweet. As the hips settle back down onto the floor, just flatten and loosen your back. Let's bring the right knee into the chest. Squeeze it in. Pull the toes back towards you. Just roll that ankle a bit. Stretch the right foot up to the sky. Twist it. Draw the heel back down onto the left and reach that folded top leg away from you. Nice. Stay there for a moment, just lifting the left foot up off the floor. Breathe. Softening your neck and shoulders here. Rerouting the work down to the legs, the core, the hips. And then set the left foot down on the floor. Right foot reaches to sky. Point and flex toes. Roll. Ankle. Put that foot on the floor. Left knee. Deep squeeze into the chest. Yeah, feel that hip flexor crease. Pull the toes back towards you. Point and flex them. Roll the ankle. With that knee squeezed deeply. And then stretch the foot up to the sky. Twist it. Right, left, right, left. Externally rotated. Drop the left heel on the right thigh. And then gently open that left bent knee away from you. Slowly lift the right foot up off the floor. Relaxing neck, shoulders, upper back. Rerouting the work to your core and legs. Sweet. Set that foot back on the floor. Left foot floats to sky. Just do a little bit of ankle work, pointing and flexing, rolling before you let that foot land. Soles of your feet can come together. Knees can open. Hands can stay soft on your belly. You can spread them wide. Finding stillness. In this moment, I want you to just scan the physical body and notice if there's a part that you want more movement in. Perhaps there's still a tightness that you can feel. There's a stiffness that we haven't yet accessed today. So if there's any other movement that your body's requiring or calling you to do, just respond. Allow yourself to notice and be in tune, be responsive to that which your body is trying to communicate to you. So any movement you need, just do it. When that feels complete, you're just bringing yourself back, settling in for just a moment, and allowing yourself that physical scan. What is it in the physical body today that is most apparent, is most wanting to communicate with you? What sensations are evident? Allowing yourself to do that same scan through the mental body. So we go to the brain quite often here, but your intelligence is far greater than your brain, your mind. Scan the mind. Letting yourself sink that one little level deeper into the heart center. Just noticing what's there today. And as you complete your tune in, perhaps you're just noticing as those three layers, they merge together, the lines between them, not distinct but blurry. One becomes the other. The prana flows with ease between all the layers of your being. What affects one layer affects them all. Our physical layer is just our most obvious layer. And as we go deeper, we have the ability to tap into more and more subtlety. More and more of that intuitive connection, where the wisdom and things that we know, we don't even know how we learned it. We just know it. So if now you know you're ready to launch into a deeper meditation, then please just lean over and turn off your computer and settle in. If you are ready to come back up, just let yourself start to move. And start to bring yourself into an upright position. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for staying till the end. And enjoy this day. Namaste.